I wanted to talk to you about like relationships in today's age.
Oh, like, romantic
The romance,
relationships.
yeah.
For me, it's like, in terms of relationships, I feel like because there's a lot of fake out there, it's harder for people now. People are just, I say maybe 30, 40, 50 years ago, 100 years ago, people now, they get out of a relationship or they have a problem, they can go straight on their phone, DM someone else, they're getting likes. That makes them think that the grass is green in other places. So a lot of it is just fakeness, a lot of fake. So yeah, a relationship in this day and age, I think it can be very, very difficult, man. It can be very, very difficult. It's not like our parents' era, which maybe meant it was a bit easier.
Yeah.
Because now, there's like, but that's why I say always be true to yourself, set your boundaries and keep on those boundaries, right? And everyone's idea of a relationship is different, of course. For me, I believe there's a man and there's a woman, and I believe a man is a provider. That's what I believe. And that's the standard I'd set, is that a man is a provider. And a woman can be a provider if she wants. It's up to her. With a man, we are providers. With that. So I feel like, yeah, in that respect, it's better. But now everyone has their own different opinion on certain things and want to be. But, men, I feel like we're a bit neglected in it, specifically, because a lot of the response, we're neglected, man. Like, our mental health kind of doesn't matter sometimes. We don't. And like, I'll give you a lot of concept in terms of what we do, in terms of to provide. Women can say in certain aspects that, men get all of this and men get to do all of this and they get the best jobs and they get all of this and they have the most money and they want everything. I'm looking around, I don't know any of these men you're talking about. You get me? All I know in my own circle is guys that I know are making £9-10 an hour off their backs daily, making £80-90 because they got a wife at home, just had a kid, and he's trying to feed both of them. That's what I'm seeing. What are you talking about? You're like, you can get it confused with that minority of rich guys that you're seeing, or rappers, or the small minority. There's millions, and there's like maybe 1,000 of them that have all this money that obviously that you're seeing. A lot, most of us are providers. We're doing our best in order to. We don't do it. What? If you look at, for example, I'll give you an example. One of my boys, he works 2 jobs. He's got a few kids or whatnot. What is he doing that for? What is he doing that for? To do what? Because he's better than women? No, he's not. He's doing that because he's trying to feed his wife and his kids, and they can have a positive future ahead of them. And his wife, she just had kids, so she can work, of course, but she's decided to look after the kids, and he's doing it just to feed and keep the family together. So there's a lot of this, is neglect on both sides. I definitely say it, because some women are in very toxic situations with guys that are not providers.
Yeah.
Not providers.
Sometimes they're providers, but the shit that comes with it.
Providers shit, and that's why it's like some men don't know how to be men anymore, and that's why women won't go for them. That's why women are having issues. It's the truth. Like, you got a lot of women in certain situations with guys, and then he does that whole, tries to lure you in with this fake person that he is, and then you get in and the guy doesn't want to do nothing. You know what I'm saying? So it's this day and age, man. People are so absorbed into men need to be men, man.
You have to look after yourself as well, man.
You have to look after yourself, and I don't know, man. I feel for women much more. Because women can be in a position where you're stuck with someone and he's supposed to be your provider. Now you've got kids with him. It's hard to detach mentally. It's hard to detach mentally. It's hard to do many of those things. So I think relationships nowadays, it gets very, very complicated, man.
For a man who's in that position, what's the best solution?
I'll tell you, yeah. This is what, if I had to give anyone advice on any relationships in it, and this comes from my heart, is please learn to love yourself before you love anyone else. Please, learn to do that. If you're a woman and you're watching this, yeah, what do you believe you deserve? And be honest with yourself, okay? And list it down. Are you being given those things? And some of these demands are not even big. Might be love, affection, maybe going out, having a little bit of food sometimes, or maybe even recognition for, let's say, the duties you do around the house, even though not everyone stays around the house doing it. And they're not too much to ask. And if you're not getting it, then you have to sit and you have to understand, you know what, I can't let any person just enter my life and not fulfill me, because then you're using all of this dopamine that you're getting from the one time that they're good to you, and you're staying with someone that probably isn't the best for you. And it's the same with men in that respect as well. If you've got boundaries that you want from a woman, then stay true to those boundaries and then do it. The best thing about this life is you really get to pick who you want to be with.
100%.
If you're a woman out there and you want a guy who's rich, who's going to give you all of this stuff that, some I've seen online where some girls are saying they want an allowance of $1,000 a week or something. Yeah. But it's like, look, it's like, why men decide to complain, oh, look at her, this bro, you don't have to pick her. You've got a choice to go for a woman who's content with maybe, you know what, you look after me and I'll look after you and we'll work everything together. You don't have to pick these people. So if you don't, then make sure that you're picking the right. Another thing I'd like to definitely talk about, is specifically if you're a woman, men do this as well, but I'll say it for the ladies, innit? Because there tends to be, maybe men don't talk about, I'll say it for both, Okay, look, you might have not had someone around you, maybe because of your life or certain situations or how you was for years and years. Your friends are getting attention. This is for the men as well. Your friends are getting attention. And the second someone enters your life with something small, you then give in and say, oh, you know what, like, I don't get attention like this person and I want it to be like this. And then you create, that man comes into your life and you're just being tolerant of him because you're like, do you know what, I haven't been with someone and time's running out for me. It's concept of time. I need to just find someone. So no matter what he does or how shitty he is, you're going to stay with him, even though you don't deserve that. If you have to be single for the rest of your life until you get what you deserve, and that could be religiously what you want in a man or what, then bro, I would stay single for the rest of my life than be with someone, and I say this for the women specifically, because a lot of them are in certain relationships and it's like, oh, and men can be like that as well. It's like the first time they see something, no, wait, pray for your guidance and wait for that person to give you what you deserve. Because the worst thing that we've got in this, which I see everywhere, is people don't love themselves enough, man. So they tolerate anything. You don't love yourself enough. You got to sit down, look, and list the things, bro. What you believe you deserve.
They spend more time impressing the significant other or the person that they're trying to get because of what society has told them to do, or even social media has told them to do, before they even put themselves out there, which is, I feel like it's just so sickening, man.
The most beautiful situation is when you can build with someone, but build with someone who would wants to build with you and is mentally on the same level of you, and build with them. There's no problem, bro. Sometimes things are going to get hard. That's life. Do you get it? But don't be with someone who doesn't understand you. Or understand that. Or so I believe before you get into any relationship, you should always discuss this first. Discuss it. Sit down. Communicate stuff. If you're a man and you don't want it to dress a certain way, you communicate that at the start. Let her know. Don't do it 6 months later. Oh, you can't wear this and that. And but okay, you know what? Sometimes people grow and you make something. I get that. Or forget the dress thing for it. Or if you're if I'm a man and I smoke, and she's calm with it 7 months later, I don't want to be with a man that smokes. Do you get it? Bro, and you've always had that boundary in your head. So obviously some things can change. Say it at the start, man. Forget this honeymoon stuff. Say it at the start.
Do you know why? Because the value in a relationship in the beginning, there's always value in the beginning of a relationship. Everything, the beginning of a relationship is so pure. But it will never, anything they have, even like when you first buy a car, let's say, there's always value in it, right?
Of course.
But 6 months down the line, you're going to be like, I don't want this car anymore, man. There's no value in it. Do you know what I mean? Absolutely. But that's why people are just so afraid to say in the beginning. Or that's why, I don't know. It's kind of like dopamine in a way. They want to crave that valueness in the relationship before they even take it to the next step and start seeing their true colors in later on down the line.
It's all a facade, I'm telling you. Until you get into it and you experience it, it's all a facade. But just make sure when you pick well and love yourself, man. Like it's such an annoying thing to think about that, bro. You just see people and they're in relationships and they're unhappy. It's annoying. You get it? So it's like, if you're out there, I've had DMs from girls, even boys are saying, I just don't really. Just be truthfully and be honest with yourself about certain things, and then just set your boundaries. You know what I'm saying? Like to you who's watching this, you're like the most important thing ever is you, honestly. And it's only you that's going to give you everything you want, and you write down the things you want and pray you get it one day. And don't settle for anything less. That's the truth. Don't settle for anything less. Obviously things are going to be hard. There's a lot of that, but you know ultimately what you deserve, and like, you know, you just want to be happy. I get it. And like, even for me, man, I'm not enticed by this whole, I swear to God, I'm not enticed by this whole modeling and, oh, she's beautiful, this and I'm so detached from all of that. I'm so detached. Like, when I look at a woman now, bro, I'm just like, if I did look at a woman, if I was looking at a woman seriously, I just think, okay, first question men you should ask yourselves is, look at a woman, the way she acts, everything about her, and just say to yourself, biggest question ever is, can this woman raise my children? Think that. That's before you into anything, because that's always going to be the end goal. What are you in? You obviously, it's to start a family. Ask that yourself if you're like looking for someone. And then women look at it and say, could this be the father of my children that I'm going to have for him? That you're going to, you know, because essentially you're, as a woman, you're going to bring up this man's kids. Is this going to be the father I want? Well, you're very enticed by his car and his watch and the views he gets. You're very enticed by all of this. That does nothing in raising children. You know, big lips, big boobs, for example, very enticing for men. We're men, bro. It happens. Is that really ultimately that's what raising? Because, bro, 5, 6, 7 years down the line, hairline's gone, you're getting older, your back's starting to hurt, no one's wearing makeup, you know.
What
is left? Do you know what's left? Do you know what's left after all of that? Is that little conversation that you lot have that make you smile. Or that little, you know what, you know, mentally the way he is so beautiful, it's so pure. The way she is, she's such a nurturer, she's so pure. There, you know what I'm saying? Like that. So that's what's left. So that's why it's important to try and filter it out. And we're human, so obviously sometimes we lose our way.